Hello and welcome to Top Story. It looked like an end was in sight for Lebanon's political crisis. The anti-Syrian government and the pro-Syrian opposition finally agreed on a compromise candidate for the presidency, Army Chief Michel Suleiman. But the man tipped to succeed him as head of the military has been killed. On Wednesday morning, a powerful car bomb blew up Brigadier General François Al-Hajj and his bodyguards in Beirut. It's the latest in a string of assassinations blamed on Syria. Again, Damascus hotly denies any involvement. But one thing appears certain. Whoever ordered the attack wanted to derail an upcoming vote on the presidency and throw Lebanon back into limbo. For analysis on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Elias Masbounji. He's the Paris correspondent for L'Orient Le Jour, Lebanon's French language daily. Mr. Masbounji, thank you very much for joining us. Firstly, what effect does this have on the vote that's scheduled next week?
Funny enough, it may have a positive effect because politicians are losing popularity. The story is too long, and the bazaar, the deals are too long, and people cannot suffer longer this crisis, the economic crisis. On the other hand, the army is getting more and more nervous. Not only because they are expecting their commander-in-chief to be president, but because they are also fed up with the situation, and especially, although they don't say it, from the political class in Lebanon. And this may lead to an effort to get together and to do what they were reluctant to do, meaning amending the constitution and electing General Suleiman as a leader agreed by all parties, and elect him as president of the Republic of Lebanon. Something that is supported and is getting the agreement of the whole people, the Lebanese people.
Do you think that the army will avoid being drawn into the political crisis then? How will they respond? Simply by improving security for senior staff?
Being involved in politics is one thing, and doing their job is something else. They are frustrated, especially now, because they have been fighting a long battle with obsolete arms and munitions, very little means of dealing with a very dangerous enemy. They think they have lost too many men and that the battle was too long, and they are right. So they think it's time to have a state, a government, regardless of who is leading, who's in the majority, who's the leader of the other, the minority. They don't care about this. They want a state with first a head of state, new government, and a real support for them as an institution, the only institution that has not been affected by the recent and the situation, the present crisis, let's say.
And you believe the army as an institution is resilient to those pressures?
Yes, I think we can say that.
I mean, the question many people are asking is who could benefit from this assassination. One theory is perhaps it's linked to the Nar al-Bared refugee standoff.
It is definitely linked to those who have been defeated, strongly defeated by the army, and especially the late General Hajj, who was a hardliner. He wasn't very happy of the end of the battle. He told friends a few weeks ago that it was a mistake to leave some gunmen leave the
to allow them to flee from
flee.
From the camp.
And he wasn't. If he was in charge, on the operation, but he wouldn't have entered into such negotiation. So that makes logic that these people, it's a revenge, and also they wouldn't have waited until he gets in charge, the command of the army. They wouldn't have liked to see him in front of them in the future.
Well, some analysts say that Fatah al-Islam militants wouldn't have had the logistics to carry out this assassination, but that Syria would have the means to do that if it had chosen to.
I wouldn't be astonished, but we have to take into consideration that the situation in the ground is not black or white. Of course, Syria can provide this material, but others than Syria also have the equipment. And in Lebanon, organized bands can get any sort of equipment. It's like an open market where you can get anything. Syria being the main provider and the main support, because not anybody can organize such an operation in Lebanon, and Syria is somewhere aware of what is going to happen.
Would it be in Syria's political interest to orchestrate this kind of killing now?
Apparently no, because Syria has very good relations with the candidate, the head of the Lebanese army,
with Michel Sleiman.
But Syria doesn't like the hardliners, whether in the Lebanese army or in some Lebanese political parties. They prefer people with whom they can make business, and they prefer people with whom they can establish a relation of trust, and they deal with them, not hardliners, unless they are their allies.
We'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much, Elias Masbounji from L'Orient Le Jour newspaper. Do join us again at the same time tomorrow for another edition of Top Story.